What's up, everyone? It's Dirk Anderson, the DA, and today, we've got some wild news. So, today's the big day, the Snow White Hollywood premiere. But hold up.
Okay.
It's not the grand spectacle you'd expect. Nope. Disney had to scale. Things way back, and we all know why. Rachel Zegler's got a big mouth. They keep throwing Gal Gadot's name in there, but let's be real. Gal ain't the problem. The real issue? Rachel Zegler herself. The giant poison apple in this whole situation. Now, here's the deal. Disney is technically hosting a Hollywood premiere today, March 15th, but don't expect the usual red carpet glamour. Instead of the massive media event, it's just a pre-party and a screening. That's it. A few drinks, a couple of pictures, and boom, it's over. No dozens of media outlets, no big interviews, because, let's be honest, they don't trust Rachel. They have no idea what she might say. And they sure as hell can't control the questions from reporters. So, the only move left? Shut it down. No media, no press junkets, just a controlled, closed-off event with in-house photographers. And you know what's even crazier? Disney won't even comment on it. They already pulled the same stunt in the UK, and now it's just a total mess. At this point, Disney is basically saying, let's just get through this disaster and move on to Lilo and Stitch. And honestly, that's probably their best bet. People are actually loving that trailer. Expect Disney to crank the hype dial all the way up for Lilo and Stitch right after this train wreck. But it's not just Rachel's comments killing Snow White. The entire Hollywood box office is in shambles right now. This weekend's biggest release, Novocaine, is leading the box office with, wait for it, $8 million, that's it! The lowest grossing weekend of 2025. It even broke last week's record for lowest earnings. Hollywood is in serious trouble. No one is buzzing about these movies. Novocaine should have been a hit with Gen Z, but nope. Crickets. Meanwhile, anime is dominating. I just watched Solo. Leveling earlier today. Absolute masterpiece. Perfect storytelling, insane cliffhangers. It's got people talking. Meanwhile, Snow White is about to drop like a rock at the box office. And check this. Rachel Zegler finally spoke out, sorty of. A reporter asked her about Snow White hitting theaters, and she gave the most robotic answer possible. It feels wonderful, thank you. That's it. Then, when asked about the backlash, she bolted. Straight into a black SUV, didn't say a word. Looks like Disney finally told her, Rachel, just shut up. Say nothing. We can't afford another disaster. But here's the reality. It's too late. This movie is dead on arrival, and everyone knows it. And that's not all. Rachel just did some PR damage control in Spain, visiting the Alcázar de Segovia castle, the inspiration for the original Snow White castle. But let's be real, that ain't gonna fix the mess Disney's got on its hands. And this whole situation, it highlights the real problem with these Disney remakes. They just don't work.
Hi everyone, we are outside the castle that the 1937 animated classic based Snow White's castle off of, which is...
It's funny how it's a classic, right? It's a 1937 classic now. Now it's a classic. You know, before, oh, evidently this is not 1937 anymore and she's talking shit. But now, oh, it's a classic. We love the classics. All right. Too funny, man.
So exciting. We are here because we're shooting a music video for Waiting on a Wish, which is so cool. We only have one day to get it all done. And tonight we get a live performance. I'm so excited. It's gonna be a fun day. And so I'm looking at the lens.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's...
And you know how it goes. Rachel's just standing around, flashing. Images, doing her little music video, whatever. But this is the real problem. Disney wants to go back to the classic Snow White castle, right? They want to shoot a video there, have Snow White singing songs, all that nostalgic magic. They want the aesthetics. They want the look of the original classic. But they don't want to tell the same story. See, they want all the iconic visuals, the castle, the dresses, the fairy tale setting, but they refuse to actually do what made the original a masterpiece. Instead of a timeless fairy tale romance, they want to turn Snow White into yet another girl boss narrative. That's the issue. And honestly, that's Disney in a nutshell. All they do is steal, borrow, and buy from actual creators. They don't bring anything new to the table. Then they have the audacity to act like they're innovating. Nah, bro, you're just biting off of real creatives. You're cashing in on their brilliance because Disney doesn't have the vision to create something truly original, and that's why this movie is going to flop. But hey, let's get into the hard numbers. Let's check out the actual ticket sales. Time to revisit the old fan event over at my local theater, Theo 18. Now this spot, it's usually solid. Not the biggest, not the smallest, but it always draws a decent crowd for big releases. So, let's see how Snow White is stacking up.
Yeah, I think this is about the same as it was the last time. I think maybe these two people jumped in. All right, it was here, and I think these two cats jumped in. All right, let's go to IMAX at 7 o'clock. Let's see what's going on with IMAX at 7. A few more people, all right? Again, this movie comes out in less than, 7 days? This is coming out in 5 days, March 20. Any other movie, right? Any other movie that was on this same level, this thing would have been jam-packed. I guarantee you when we get to Lilo and Stitch, this whole theater is going to be took up.
All right, let's talk numbers. Snow White is wide open. Walk-up traffic? Yeah, there'll be some, but not nearly enough to save this disaster. That was Thursday. Let's check Friday, 7:15 p.m., IMAX. Man, it's bad. Hardly anyone is showing up. Let's try Dolby at 6:30 p.m. Nope. Still dead? Disney is in serious trouble. Just look at this. Why isn't anyone talking about this movie? Because nobody cares. At this rate, we're looking at one of the biggest box office flops in recent history. I was thinking, maybe this thing pulls in 40 million, but honestly, the way it's looking right now, that might be generous. Now let's check Friday afternoon. Spring break is happening right now. This should be the perfect time for young audiences to pack the theaters. But guess what? Young people are not rocking with Snow White. Not a single seat sold. Not one. This theater is just sitting empty. Wasted space. All right, let's jump to Saturday. We've been watching Saturday closely to see if things pick up. So let's check Saturday IMAX, 4:30 p.m. And still nothing. Nobody is paying IMAX prices for this. Not one seat sold. We are 1 week away from the release, and they haven't moved a single ticket for this showtime. This is wild. Let's check 2:30 p.m. regular screening. Again, nothing. No IMAX, no Dolby, just a standard theater, and still empty. This is beyond bad. Disney's got a full-blown disaster on their hands. Regular laser at AMC, nobody's there. Empty. This is wild, man. All right, let's move to Sunday. Maybe somebody's coming to see this in IMAX? Or, nah, let's skip IMAX since those are a little pricier. Let's check Sunday at 5 p.m. And guess what? Nothing. Empty. Zero movement. Listen, I'm talking about Theo 18. This is not some random dead theater. This is in South Bay, surrounded by major cities. This is the same place I watched every Marvel movie during the golden era. Back then, you couldn't even get a seat. Avengers, packed, Dune, booked solid, Ghostbusters, sold out a week in advance. And now, Snow White can't even sell a handful of seats. This is sad. And you know what? I'm curious now. Let's check Burbank. 16, this spot, one of the top AMCs in the country, right up there with New York. So let's see. Sunday, 2 p.m. And wow, not a soul. That's crazy. That's next level bad. All right, let's give it another shot. Saturday at 4:45. Can this movie get some traction? Let's see.